If you force your passenger to use their abs while you're turning corners, you're probably not going to pass the test. In your driving assessment, you have to see your assessor as your VIP. They have to feel comfortable. Now, if you're thinking, if your impression is that you didn't turn the corner too fast, what about the fact that you are holding onto the steering wheel? You can brace, when you steer, but the passenger doesn't have anything to hold on to. So, they'll feel it more. So think about if you picked up a passenger from the airport and, the passenger falls asleep, and at some point there's a roundabout, you're turning right and it's slightly downhill and you're too fast, well, that passenger isn't going to stay asleep. You don't even need the instructor to tell you that you're going fast around corners. You can tell when it's uncomfortable. Just, put some stuff in your back seat, some groceries, and see if they stay in place. If they fly around the car, obviously you're not doing it correctly. If your passenger is feeling uncomfortable, a little bit of extra brake will always do the job. Often people ask me, I cut the corner a little bit, but there was no car, there's no one there. So how does it matter if there's no traffic at all and you partially go to the wrong side of the road? They want to see that you are capable of keeping your vehicle positioned properly, basically on your left-hand side at any point in time in Australia. If there's an emergency or if you have to overtake the parked vehicle on the side of the road, that's a different story. But you can't cut the corner and think, well, there was no cars, so it was safe. Your driving test is a demonstration of your skills. Think of your driving test as your presentation. It's a demonstration of your skills where you have to show that despite the fact that there's no cars, that you shouldn't cut the corner, because they need to see if you can do it. It's not logical if you cut the corner that the assessor assumes that you can do it properly if there was a car. Generally, the speed plays a big role. Think of the accelerator and the steering wheel as two entities that, never have a good relationship. So if you're turning the sharp corner, you can't accelerate too fast. If you think about basic physics, and if you're turning a corner, your front wheels direct your chassis. So when your front wheels are directing your car body, you don't want them to spin faster. You need them to spin steadier when you're turning corners. That way you will probably avoid going too wide if you're turning a left corner, or cutting a corner if you're turning right. In various situations, speed will play a huge role in maintaining stability when you turn corners, and also being, more precise with your trajectory. So, for example, if you're turning left, you've got to give way, you check properly and everything, and you're turning on 2-lane road. As you turn, you sort of partially go slightly over to the far right and then come back to the left. It will signal to the assessor that you are not handling it properly. So there's obviously problems with your synchronization between your speed and the steering ratio. If you understand things, it's easier than memorizing them, because what you understand, you could probably talk about it for half an hour. A lot of people think, if I know the test route, I should be right. Not really. You need to know how to do it. You need to have a good understanding. You don't have to know every pothole along the way, but you have to know how to do things. So if you struggle with your movement when you're turning sharp corners, they don't even have to be sharp. Roundabouts, if you're going straight through the roundabout, you have to match the shape of the road with your steering. To match the shape of the road, whether it's the slow point or a roundabout, you need to slow down. If you've failed your test on your movement and, you've had your lessons, it's not even, you don't even have to take lessons to fix it. You've got to make a decision. And, to implement this knowledge, it's very simple. You know that your wheels spin when you push accelerator, and when you push accelerator more, they spin faster. But also when you're turning sharp corners, you've got to accurately track your path. If you're just watching videos and if you're thinking, well, now I know it, but I've never done it, it's probably not going to work, okay? So you have to test it. You've got to practice these things. I hope this video will help you navigate sharp corners a lot better. As always, feel free to ask any relevant questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.